Hey everybody. Well, as you can see here, I have that Brookstone weather forecaster that I made a video on, I think just about a year ago now. Kind of ironic, but as you can see, I think it's officially called it quits, unfortunately. Basically, what happened was there were a couple of weird things going on with it within the last, I'd say a couple of weeks to maybe a month. The first thing I noticed was the current temperature for a while was displaying 81 degrees. Like, it wouldn't change. Like, I know it was very hot about a month or so ago, and for a while. But after a while, I was noticing that it was just saying 81 degrees and not changing. Everything else went okay. The clock was fine. The forecasted temperatures, everything else here was fine. But for a while, it was just displaying that number and nothing was changing. And then not too long after that, I noticed that the battery low indicator, which is right around here, was flashing, indicating low batteries. So it was like, oh, okay, well maybe just a low battery and it's not displaying something correctly, which can happen. A low battery can cause this to not work properly. So I changed the batteries, let it do its thing so it can get the network and find stuff. Then everything came back live, but again, 81 degrees. So I said, all right, let's wait a while. See what happens. Maybe a finally update. Well, a couple of more weeks went by and didn't happen. So I kind of had a feeling that this thing might be heading on its way out. And the second thing that happened was today's Sunday. This past Friday. So it had Friday's weather here. Then basically Sunday, Saturday. I'm sorry. A Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So these three things here were displaying correctly. But then the box here for Tuesday, there was no weather icon, and both temperature displays for the high and the low said 0 degrees. And it was pretty much at that point I was almost pretty much convinced that this thing was calling it quits, that it just wasn't doing anything correctly anymore. So it started with the current temperature just saying 81 all the time, and then the weather for this day just not showing anything. And I was like, let me try one more thing here. So I took the batteries out, let it sit inactive for a few hours, put it back in, and now for the last couple of days by this point, this is all it's giving me. It says, that network found, please wait for 1 hour. Well, it's been a couple of days, and it's unfortunate to say that I think this is finally done. Admittedly, I am bummed about it because this was a nice weather forecaster to have, but I have to admit, I'm not all that upset in the sense that I got this back in 2010, so this thing's 12 years old. So, I definitely can't say, it didn't last long. But, again, it's just that kind of thing where, it's unfortunate that it happens because it really was a nice device to have for a while. And if I'm honest, it was pretty accurate, even though it only does major cities in the U.S. It was pretty accurate overall for, wherever. And it was good in that regard, so I guess just, it's time to let this go, unfortunately. And again, I told you everything that happened, and I did a second thing of, taking the batteries out, putting it back in. Nothing. This is all it's giving me now, so I think it's lived its life, as they say. This was nice in the sense that I didn't have to install any sensors, like, outside or around the house. This is only outdoor, for the most part, weather, or just in general, because it just does major cities. But I didn't have to install any sensors or anything like that, so that was nice in that regard, so... But what is nice, though, is, like I said, this is 12 years old, and I know weather forecasting things are much more common nowadays. So who knows, maybe in some store, or maybe from Amazon, I could find a better one. If anyone out there knows a good one that they can recommend, certainly tell me. I'll think about getting it. But just kind of unfortunate, because, like I said, everything that it did, and just the fact that it did all major cities, like all around, not just the local area. That was just a really cool, nice thing to do. Even if you put it in a city that you didn't live in or live near, it's just kind of cool to see, And so, yeah, I made a video on this, I believe, last year, and then, unfortunately, this happened. So, by that point, it was 11 years old. Now it's 12 years, and it's lived its life. So, I guess, nice to have for as long as I did, but I guess it's time to get something new, and hopefully, if I can find something new, it'll be good. And again, if anyone knows any new ones out there that are good, let me know. Maybe I'll consider getting it. So, kind of unfortunate, but it was a good thing to have. And maybe we can get something new in the future. That'll be good. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care.